Hey everybody, Jackass with ApexHead.com bringing you round 14 in Singapore of the I Am No Expert series, and we are following the first season of career mode in F1 2011 with Team Force India, and we are nearing the end of the season here, just only got a handful of races to go. And for the record, Singapore is actually one of my least favorite circuits on the calendar. For whatever reason, I just have a hard time mastering it. And here we are in practice, and you can see what kind of problems I had with the weather. And again, because I'm not used to this view and no racing line and trying to learn all my braking points, it was just sort of an uphill climb to get used to it. Conditions absolutely not helping, as you can see. And here I completely forget what corner I'm in, and that takes care of my front wing. And then of course we've all been here. Yeah, that would take care of my other wing. And actually I think these are out of sequence. I think that was the first one that happened to me now that I'm looking at this. And that would be my qualifying session in Q1. And speaking of qualifying, I have to tell on myself, I completely and 100% forgot to get screenshots for this race, so I do not have those to show you, but I will give you some of the highlights of the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton on pole position with Mark Webber right behind. Schumacher and Rosberg qualified 7th and 8th, and the Renault cars 9th and 10th, Petrov in front of Heidfeld. And Sutil qualified right in front of me, I think for the first time this season. He qualified 17th, and I qualified a miserable 18th. So, because I'm starting outside of the top 10, going to go ahead and start on the prime tires, due to pit in lap 7 to throw on the options. And we do have a dry race. I still have not seen rain in any of the races this season, which is actually a little bit disappointing. Hopefully we'll get at least one wet race before this season is over. And I'm actually dreading this race a great deal. It's always a grind for me. It's a bit like Monaco, but I tend to do better at Monaco just because I can get into a rhythm better. And of course I have more appreciation for it given its history. So lap 1 here is going to be critical. Probably going to dictate just how many positions I can make up in the race, so let's see what we can do to start here. Starting off behind Barrichello in the Williams, gonna see if I can overtake him on the inside here, and I do easily. Now competing with Maldonado on the inside, and a little bit of a gap through here, and slicing my way through the middle, through turn 1. Now slight contact with Massa, holding a strong inside line, and now chasing down the Mercedes, but all the way up into P8. So this is basically a start dream come true for me. Now having a look on the inside of Alonso, getting a little greedy here and not able to compete with the speed of the Ferrari. I saw a gap there and went for it, but Alonso was a little too quick out of the slowdown there, and this is one of the longer stretches of the circuit. Contact there as I roll over the curb, not sure what happened, don't think I was involved, but Vettel now slowing down and overtaking him on the inside and all the way up into P3. So this is a very, very shocking development. I would not expect the AI to be this slow on these corners in the opening laps, but the bad news for me is that I've still got the entire race to go, and given my pace on this circuit, as you can see, trying to find my line and get comfortable here, it's going to be a challenge for me to hold this. There's no question about that. You can see they're cutting along the inside. That's a very, very slow hairpin, and I usually slow down a little too much, so I'll probably be rolling over that curb a little bit as the race goes on. And a late break here. Have to really step on the brakes and barely avoid contact with the wall, and somehow the AI is not able to pick up the spoils there. I gave Vettel a huge opportunity there, but I'd build up just enough of a gap to save the car and get back on track. But now you can see the German is breathing down my neck, and you remember these fun little corners from the practice and qualifying sessions. So still feeling a little nervous as I go through here. A little flicker of a yellow flag, not sure what happened, could have been something behind us. But now we're back into the green as we come around to the end of lap 1. And not to count my chickens before they hatch, but I could not be any happier with the start here. And you can see I'm riding about 2.77 seconds behind Webber, but it's not going to be easy. It never is on these street circuits. Skipping ahead near the end of lap 2. Still trying to get comfortable and steer too late. Wheels off the ground, and you can see I make contact with the wall. And the engineer now advising me that I've taken slight damage from that on my wing and not to come in, thankfully. That was a complete and utter disaster. Still able to stay ahead of Vettel. And now skipping ahead here to lap 4, as you can see, same spot where we had problems before, able to manage it a lot better this time. But don't forget, I do have this slight wing damage. And I'm not running my fast fuel mix just yet, but you can see my tires are now worn down pretty well. Not quite red yet, but definitely a strong yellow color. And now with 2 laps of accumulation of fuel, I'm going to go ahead and turn up my fuel mix. I really want to keep this position. As I go wide there, And another very, very close call with the wall there. Almost hit my tire with it. Probably wouldn't have punctured it going that speed, but certainly was poised to lose my position. And really all I want to do here, as I was starting to say, is stay ahead of Vettel until I can get into the pits here in lap 5. And more contact with the wall. You could actually hear the sound of the wheel bouncing off the wall, but it was slight. No damage. But now my tires are really, really struggling to hang on. Here we are in lap 7, and you can see more problems with going wide. Just really having a hard time seeing my braking points, and my tires continue to degrade. And you may have noticed I'm running P1. That's of course because the leaders had gone into pit, which I'm scheduled to do at the end of this lap. So let's take a look and see how well we do here. Still running P1. Being followed up by Webber and Hamilton, who will undoubtedly pass me here. The big question is just how many cars are going to pass me. I'm going to go ahead and change my fuel mix down to lean. Still running 2 extra laps of fuel, so I don't know if that's normal for Singapore. I'm definitely going to pay attention the next time I race here. But first, let's see how the team does here in the pit stop. Don't forget we're changing the wing as well in a god-awful 7.5, almost 7.6 seconds. For that pit stop, and even with the wing change that seems a little slow to me, but the good news is I'm still maintaining P4, being chased by Aguilasari of all people in P5. We'll see how long that lasts, and want to go ahead and get my tires warmed up on the outlap. And you may have noticed I changed my fuel mix back up to rich, because as long as I've got those 2 laps of fuel, I am going to maintain that. So now skipping ahead here to the end of lap 8, being chased by Heidfeld in the Renault. And Aguilasari has actually fallen back behind him, so he is charging here late in the race. And misjudged my speed here, feeling the pressure from Heidfeld, and I go very, very wide, and you can see I lose 2 positions. The first to Heidfeld, now chasing Aguilasari, who's running P5, and let's see if I've got the pace to get around the Toro Rosso. Yes, I do. Riding up on the back of the gearbox of Heidfeld, I've noticed that the longer that you wait to get around the AI, in these cases where you're overtaken, the less likely you will be able to do so. At least that's true for me. I have to take advantage of the small gap now while I can, so going to be chasing him as closely as possible. Not exactly sure when I'll have an opportunity to overtake him, possibly down into turn 1 as we come around to the end of the 8th lap here. And now starting lap 9, which is the fastest of the race. Now able to activate my DRS. And now chasing down Heidfeld, and let's see if we can do something here in turn 1. Not able to make it stick there. What about turn 2? Or maybe technically turn 3. Not sure how that little bend there at the end of turn 1 is treated. But not able to get around Heidfeld all the same. Going to be chasing him down, able to swing right and maintain pretty good pace. And now you can see I'm burning off my curves. I'm doing everything in my power to maintain pace with the Renault. And now he's running very, very far to the left. And able to make the overtake stick, or am I wheel to wheel now? And I have the inside line, and yes, he's going to go ahead and yield and able to get the position back. So that's a strong relief, but now of course I have to maintain my focus for the rest of the race. And for me at Singapore, that is never a given. So now taking note that I have 3 laps of extra fuel, so Singapore is definitely good for conserving fuel apparently. I've never seen a track where you can accumulate that kind of fuel, unless of course there was a safety car or some other abnormal race event that would allow you to conserve fuel like that, so that's pretty impressive. And up over the curb and almost into the wall. And yet another close call. Don't forget this is my fastest lap of the race, so again that just kind of goes to show you just how much of a struggle getting my pace on was for this race. I just can't seem to get into a rhythm here. But with just over 3 laps to go, it's pretty clear that I'm going to be fending off the Renault for the remainder of this race. Now you can see with the mini-map that I'm able to extend my gap just a little bit over the AI through here. Liking the fact that I could run the faster fuel mix. That's definitely going to help my cause getting around to the end. So that's the end of lap 9, start of lap 10, and only got a few laps to go here. But first we must deal with those pesky back markers. Now we are in lap 11 trying to chase down, it looks like Truey in the Lotus. Yes it is, and in front of him is Timo Glock in the Virgin, so going to take advantage of this wide track, swing around Truey, and now Glock. Let's see if we can look on the inside. Bad line and late braking, and that was a near catastrophe. I'm very lucky I'm able to maintain my position there. Was paying more attention to the Virgin car than the track, if that wasn't obvious. So now skipping ahead to the end of the final lap, and you can see Mark Webber has won the race. and just have to keep it on line for the last corner. Yeah. Tires are very slippery right now, but able to avoid the heart attack and the huge fail by going off in the last corner, and we are able to steal position 4. So if there's one thing we've learned from Singapore, it's make your gains early, because that was the only reason that I was able to gain that much ground. So taking a look at the results, you can see that Heidfeld finished right behind me. He was challenging me the entire race. Aguilasari and the Toro Rosso, that's a little surprising. Felipe Massa down in 8th. But the real story is Alonso finishing in P14 after starting 5th. And my teammate there able to get 12th after starting 17th, so that's good news. And unfortunately for Petrov, Schumacher, Button, and Rosberg, they got the big DNF for the race, so this will be a weekend to forget for them. And as I leave you guys off with the race highlights here, we've got 5 races to go to complete this series. And chances are slim that I'll actually get to another season in F1 2011. We will be starting F1 2012 on release day, so you can look for the new series to come out, I would say late September or early October, depending on how much time I can get to it right away. And I hope that you guys will join me for that. But like I said, still got 5 races to go. It's still going to be a little while here. Probably be wrapping up right around the time that F1 2012 comes out. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you're interested, please check out my channel for more F1 2011 commentary. In fact, all the races leading up to this one are posted under my playlists. And I also have over 100 Forza 4 gameplay videos posted for miscellaneous cars, all with no assists. So if you have any interest in Forza 4, check that out, including a number with commentary. If you do enjoy the commentary, there's quite a few of those. So thanks again for watching, everybody, and I will see you in Japan.